Who's ready for a fucking beer? Shit. Anybody else thinking that they need a new bottle opener? Because mine's starting to get that little bend to it. You know you have a used bottle opener when, like, the metal in the bottle opener is starting to, like, bend the way that you usually open a bottle. That's funny. That's okay. It still does the job. It still does the job. Hit that like button if you haven't already. That'd be greatly appreciated. We're going to be getting this started pretty soon. In like 2 minutes, or a minute, depending on how fast your clock's going. Oh, Pam finally made it. Oh, shit. I can start the show now. Pam's here. Oh, man. Whew. Think it's time to start it? Should we do it? I think let's do it. So, bam, you know the drill with that. Should be here soon. And shabam. Shabam. Who the fuck says shabam? Okay, well, on that note, welcome everybody to another live beer review. And today we got a special one because this is one that's not, I wouldn't say it's available too often because they do small batches and once a year. So, but luckily this has been sitting downstairs in the garage or the garage for, I would say, maybe 2 months, I guess already. Getting to that point. But letting it sit in there, kind of age up a little bit. But today we're going to be taking a look at a big bottle over here. We're going to be taking a look at some Figgy pudding by Alementary Brewing Company. A little cool little label on there. Find that kind of dope. Simple, straight to the point. And yeah, this is a big bottle. This is a pretty damn big bottle. I think, what is it, a 750 mil? I think it is. Let's see. Yep, 750 mils. And this guy's a whopping 9.1%. So, yeah, this isn't one of those beers that you can smash or anything like that. This beer was brewed to be sipped on because of what the flavors I'm getting. So, on Untappd, this thing's considered a barley wine, but on the bottle it says it's considered like an English stock ale. But we'll figure that out. So, yeah. When I was talking about it earlier, see a little bend in the bottle opener, but that's okay. Got a limp to it. But, yeah, let's crack her open. So, no, not big bottle for chugging. Fucking Chris. So let's see what we're getting on the smell of this thing. Oh yeah, getting like a lot of deep, dark kind of notes coming from this. Kind of getting some like stouty notes in it as well. That's interesting. Let's give her a try. Gonna be drinking out of my beautiful disaster kind of tulip glass. So let's see what we're looking at here. Oh yeah, she's a dark. Okay. Look at that. Kind of not to that point where it's like a stout, but it kind of has like a kind of that blackish hue to it, but also you can kind of see some like deeper reds in there as well. I guess some like dark purples, just because of what fruits they're using and all that stuff. But let's see what we're getting on the smell. We're definitely getting still a lot of stouty notes on the smell, but I feel like the way it smells is going to be completely different than how it tastes, because let's kind of get into what this beer is all about. So like I said before, Figgy Pudding has a ABV of 9.1%. And let's see, brewers over at Alementary Brewing Company. I don't really have much to say about them. They do a lot of their stuff science-based. They don't really have like what their message is on their website, but that's okay. That's what I like about it, though, is like drinking for science. That's kind of their motto, which is really cool. They kind of have a lot of... It's very contemporary when it comes to looking at how that place looks on the outside. They have some kind of like a lot of contemporary art out in like the patio area, which is really cool. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for the beer. So let's see. The brewers aged this luxurious brew in mounds of dried figs, prunes, apricots, and dates. Imbuing swirls of luscious sweetness, these dark fruit melodies blend into bready malt and toffee flavors, and the pièce de résistance, this special sipper, comes out to a 9.1%. Like I said before, and they've been crafting this beer for over 5 years now. They do like a year release on it. So, and it says they give, on the previous ratings, they gave it like a 4. It was an average of 4.14 on Untappd, but looks like the rating has kind of changed a little bit. So, yeah, Tavour only had 180 of these bottles for the entire year for all of Tavour. So it was very, very limited on when you can get it and how fast you can get it. So luckily I was able to get it in time. So yeah, let's see if I can get all of these kind of dark fruit notes in this. Maybe, I don't know. I'm on the smell. I'm really getting like normal stouty smells with like kind of like a deep malts and kind of like a coffee will smell on there too. I don't know. That may be just me, but let's give it a try. So cheers, everybody. Wow. Yeah. That's very complex. Holy crap. I'm definitely getting a lot of those like malt and toffee flavors coming in forward, which is really nice. Let's see if I can start getting some of these like dark fruit notes in here that they use. Let's see. Oh yeah, now that I drink it more, I'm starting to get more like the dates and the figs in there. Not really getting much of the apricot. It might be just adding like a subtle sweetness in there from there, I'm thinking. But to me, it's very similar to the flavor of a stout, I would say. You can, in my opinion, there's a lot of those dark malty flavors, and it's kind of gives like a little bit of a bready note as well, which if you know what I'm talking about when breadiness in a beer, this might be right up your alley. But yeah, I like it. And this is also one of those beers that they actually suggest at the brewery themselves. They actually serve this beer mulled, is MULLED, which is pretty much heating up the beer with extra like seasonings like cinnamon and figs. So it's like they're serving it at like a warm temperature for the winter season, and just to get those flavors to like punch you in the face. But yeah, cold, kind of getting towards that maybe semi room temperature flavor I'm getting off this is nice. Very, very nice. It's very, very similar in my head to a stout, with those like those dark fruit notes and like kind of getting those heavy malts. And to me, it's delicious. It's gonna be more reminiscent to a stout for anybody that's kind of looking to try this kind of beer when it comes to like the dark fruits and all that. But yeah, it's fantastic. Let's see what we're looking at. Let's see what else we got. So this beer has an average rating on Untappd right now of a 3.89%, which is actually lower than I thought it would be, since it's been higher rated when it came to the description on Tavour. let's see. Oh, it's because it's the Figgy Pudding 2020. That's probably why. Okay, never mind. I'm on the correct rating now. Don't actually. I don't know. Untapped does all these different things where people kind of make them on their own, but I think this is the correct one I'm at. So I think this is just for the Figgy Pudding in general. Over the 5 years it's been rated, it has an average rating of 3.89 for the amount of years that they've done it. So, like I said before, it's a 9.1% ABV, 44 IBUs, which is kind of the measuring of bitterness when it comes to a beer. So there's not really more of like a, to me, there's not really much of a bitter note to this. It's just very roasty, toasty kind of tastes. But yeah, let's see. Definitely, I agree with you there, Kentucky. The warm kind of like room temperature taste will probably, if I would have drank this beer at like straight room temperature, if it wasn't stored anywhere cold and just got straight to maybe like a 60-degree kind of temperature, I would definitely probably be getting a little bit more of the dark fruit notes in there with like the figs and the dates. But right now, like I said before, a lot of stouty kind of like bready kind of notes. That toffee is adding like a nice sweetness to it. But yeah, it's delicious. So let's see where people are rating this beer. So somebody did it, gave it a 4. This person gave it a 3, 3.75, 3.75, 3.75, 4, 3.5. And the cool thing is when people are pouring this stuff, a lot of these people are, depending on how long they age it, or I can see people like that got it right after they got it in. They're getting more of those light kind of rosy colors when they pour it into a glass. But I'm guessing since I aged mine a little bit longer, those darker notes had time to like intertwine and everything. And that's why I'm getting more of those like that kind of stouty color in there. Oh yeah, I definitely agree. It would probably bring out the apricot a little bit more too. So let's see. But overall, this beer is pretty damn delicious. Kind of adds a little bit of like a, I can see that 44 IBU kind of, there's like, because right at the end of it, you get like a slight bitterness, but it's not too overtaking because right on the front of the mouth, you're getting all those deep, rich notes. But at the end, it's like a slight bitterness. Nothing too crazy to where it's there for a second and it's gone. But let's see. I would really like to try this beer when it came to like mulling it, to see if what the flavors are changing when it comes to it being heated, and them adding like the extra cinnamon and the figs in there to kind of bring out more of like turning it into like a spiced drink. Because for me, if I had this beer mulled, it would probably remind me closely to, I don't know if you guys know of this drink, but it's called Glug. Well, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's a alcoholic beverage that's usually around the holiday season in the winter. It's usually made with like grain alcohol and a bunch of spices. It's like very raisiny, but not getting a lot of raisin notes in this just from that. But like I said before, this is very similar to a stout when it comes to flavor in my head, but it's delicious. There's that little complexity to it to where you know it's not a stout, but you're still getting a lot of similar flavors to it, which is great. I would definitely recommend this beer if you were able to get your hands on it, if you're finding it somewhere to where maybe a liquor store around the area of Hackensack, New Jersey, because that's where Alementary is located out of. Let's see. I guess there's one location in New Jersey that's carried some of their stuff, so you might be able to find it there if they have stock of it. I'd be very surprised if there's still stock of it there. But the location is Forked River Wines. Probably Forked River Wines and Spirits, yep. So in Lacey Township, New Jersey. So if you're in that area and want to see if they possibly have anything from Alementary, even if they have the Figgy Pudding, I'd definitely recommend it. So let's start getting down to ratings here. So let's go off the kind of the art on the label, on the bottle. I knew it wasn't going to be anything too like crazy when it comes to art, because with something that's with such low availability and they do such small batches of it, I wasn't expecting anything crazy. So I kind of like how they did it with that. Reminds me a lot. I don't know. Whenever I see that symbol when it came to like the chemistry part of things, it reminds me of Big Bang Theory whenever I see this. So that's a plus in my head. And I like the nice colors they do on the side of the label. Those like red notes, keeping with the color profile of the label to kind of match with the colors and the fruits they're using in this beer. So yeah, that's solid. It's a very solid label for the kind of beer you're getting. So yeah, but I wouldn't say this would be a label that would catch my eye when it comes to seeing it at a liquor store, because this kind of beer is something that would either be held in back of the liquor store, where it's like it's a ask to know basis, in my opinion, or you would probably see it. I know when I see some rare beers, it's actually held behind the counter, so that where you have to ask for it to see if it's reserved for somebody or something like that. Some of that stuff happens when it comes to like having a hookup at a liquor store that gets rarer beers. So I would say my label rating for this is probably going to be like a 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, it's nothing too that stand outy to me, but there are things that they incorporate with the label that I do enjoy. With the whole like that, like I said, reminds me of Big Bang Theory on there. I like the colors of the label, but it's nothing too outrageous to where it's going to be like, holy crap, this art's amazing. But that doesn't take anything away from the integrity of the beer and how the beer tastes. So let's start going to more of the beer kind of things. Let's see. I'm really curious if I would have gotten this beer in a flight, would I get myself a regular glass of it? I'm guessing most likely at the brewery themselves, they would probably be serving this a little bit more room temperature. But so I don't think it would be as cold as how I'm drinking it today. But I definitely, just by the flavors I'm getting, if it's cold, I can only expect the flavors enhancing tenfold when it's being room temperature. So yeah, I'd get a regular glass of this. I got this in a flight, 100%. It's delicious. Let's see. But now getting to the final rating, because that's what it's all about. And let's see. I like the heavier kind of like mouthfeel to it. I like the flavors I'm getting. I like that slight bitterness at the end. I'm enjoying that kind of reminiscence of stout flavors I'm getting with the dark kind of fruits that are intertwined with it as well. But I'd give this a it's hard to say. Let's see. See, I want to give it a different rating than what I originally had, but from what I'm tasting right now, I'm gonna go off what I'm tasting. So I'd easily give this like a good 7.5, almost 8 for me. I think if I would have had it room temperature and kind of got more of those deeper kind of spice notes in there, along with the deeper fruit notes that kind of pop out a little bit more with it being room temperature, I feel like the rating would have been closer to maybe like an 8.5. But yeah, right now I'm going to say it's a solid 7.5 to 8. Very, very good, very delicious. I'd recommend it if you're able to get your hands on it. Like I said before, it's probably going to be something that you're going to have to be in the New Jersey area, close to where the brewery is located, up in Hackensack, or if you could try to check if Forked River Wines and Spirits has it. They might have a couple bottles sitting in the back if they didn't sell out of it already. But overall, it's a very, very solid beer. I definitely recommend people that are interested in the kind of like barley wine, like stock ale kind of stuff, or even if people that are fans of stouts, that if you're in that area or if you use Tavor, I would definitely recommend to keep it out for this one coming around next year. Just because there's a lot of flavors that are so similar to how a stout would taste. Even if it's not considered a stout just by how it's brewed. You'd enjoy it anyway, and it would kind of get you into an avenue of trying different beers, and it might even get you to start looking for stuff that's not a stout, but you might start looking for like the barley wine kind of stuff. It would just open up avenues to different beers you can get yourself interested in. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Solid 7.5 to 8, probably leading into like that 7.75 range, right in the center of that. But overall, very, very delicious beer. So I think that's what I have for you guys this afternoon. Yeah, pretty much it. I think I went over everything I needed to go over. Let's see, am I missing anything? Nope. Well, yeah, I think that is it. So guys, thank you again for tuning in this afternoon. I greatly appreciate it. I always say this at the end of my streams, but if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. Also, if you're a regular like everybody that's in the chat right now, hit that like button before you leave. Help me out greatly. There's like around 14 people watch right now, oh no, and only 8 likes, so I think we can get that up there pretty high when it comes to matching the views for likes. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, I would greatly ask you to do so if you enjoy what you see. If not, don't hit that like button. I'm not forcing you to do it. I'm not forcing you to be here. Other than that, yeah, I think that is what I have for you guys today. So I have another one that I'm pretty excited about for tomorrow. That one is actually going to be like a pastry stout, so keep it out for that. If you're a pastry stout fan, you might want to set a reminder for when I put the stream up tomorrow afternoon. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you again for everybody tuning in. And yeah, like I said, if you like what you see, hit that like button before you leave. And let's see, done, good to go. And yeah, so let's see, am I missing anything in chat? Oh, Lando, shut up, you won't do shit. I'm not scared, don't worry. Your threats will not affect me there, young sir. But yeah, that's what I got. So hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, a fantastic evening. Again, if you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I will see you guys next time. Cheers.